First, obviously, you turn off all the services, turn off all the jobs. Then you rename the Commserve database, and then you do a recovery. So it's a recovery tool they use in Commvault. So let's take a look at our DR first. So before you do this, you have to have a DR, right? So in order to get a DR, disaster recovery, you just go to all tasks and do a disaster recovery backup. We already have a scheduled policy in place for that. And if you wanted to view the job history, you right click on the Commserve, right click, go all view, and it's actually an admin job history task. Click on admin job history and uncheck all that. We're going to actually just include age data. Click OK. So as you can see, we have a lot of jobs here, and data aging, DR, disaster recovery. Here we go, right here. So last completed on the 20th, the disaster recovery. Okay, so we're good, right? One was the 23rd, 24th, we're good, right? And the location of that actual DR, let me show you that right here. I believe it's under tools, no, storage, configuration, yeah, configuration, DR backup, click that. Disaster recovery backup, same thing as DR. I guess it just cut it short. They said we can't fit all of disaster recovery in there, that space, so they just, shortened it to DR. Here's the settings about your disaster recovery, where it's pointed to. We have it pointed to our a temp folder on this Commserve here. So if if your Commserve was off, typically you don't do that, right? You'd actually have like you'd have it like in a network share somewhere. Typically, that's what you would do. You'd have it off-site somewhere else, right? That's how typically you would have it, a DR. You might have one locally, and then you'd have one somewhere else. Okay, so if we just we browse to this, you can actually see it where the folder is, and you'll see a bunch of, let's see, so temp, yeah, so temp, you'll see a bunch of folders. This set 057, they're numbered, right? We set ours to 10. Number of full metadata backups to be retained, that's 10. You can name it, you can change it to however many you want. In our case, we did 10. So they're actually not, they're more bigger than 4K, but that's the size. So for instance, let's just click on one. The most recent one is, well, it's 63. Let's click on that. 62. Okay, well there is data there actually, so let's actually show that to you. Temp folder, and I think this one here, I believe it was. Yeah, so inside you're going to see a bunch of data, right? You're going to see a bunch of stuff. This is really important. I mean, this file here is really important. This is going to save you a lot of headache, a lot of hours of like work, basically. What this is like it's a setting of all the things you have, all the pointers, how things are set up, the client names. It's very, very nice. That's the Commserve database essentially. And the actual file, so you have several of them. You have all these dump files, right? So 400 meg, and as your Commserve grows and you have more media agents, more, just more, you're going to see this grow bigger, 2 gig, 3 gig, 5 gig, what have you. So, a lot of these files we'll be actually using in our restore. So yeah, okay, let's close this. We can close this. So we have our DR. We're good there. We have an actual backup, so we're good there. So to perform a disaster recovery of the same Commserve you're on now, so the first thing is to make sure we have no jobs running. That's the very first thing. The second thing is we're going to right click on the Commserve and go to Properties. In the Commvault properties, we're going to click on Activity Controller, or Activity Control, excuse me. And we're going to uncheck everything but these two right here. It's, uncheck everything but those two. So uncheck everything but the enable job activity and the enable data management. Then click OK. Right, yep. The next thing, we want to go right back into properties on the Commserve. Right click on Commserve, go to properties. I want to add an additional setting to this. Under additional settings, we're going to add one, and it's going to be called MM Disable Prune. Let's see, MM Disable Prune. Yep. So one is the value, and it's going to stop the media manager from sending pruning requests to the media agent, right? So yep, that looks good there. Okay, push OK. No, I'll just put some comment, whatever it is. Let's see if I can I just copy this? I can't. Let me copy this. There you go. Fantastic. Okay, good. Click OK on that one. The Commcell properties. Next, we have to stop the services on the Commserve. Let's close this out. So we're just going to stop the services on the Commserve. Just make sure that stops. So we already have a DR. We know that. So next thing is to go to change the SQL, the Commserve database. Actually, we have to go into SQL Server Management Studio. It's here somewhere. SQL Server Management Studio. SQL Server Management Studio. There we go. So the database we're using, you got two of them. You have the SQL database and you have the Commvault database. We're going to use the Commvault database. So if this doesn't work for you, what your problem is your SQL is not authenticated, meaning this user, he's not an SA or he's not a systems admin on that database. That's the problem. So we're going to connect. So we're going to right click on the, or not right click, but we're going to open the database and we're going to go to Commserve. We're just going to rename it. So we had to rename our Commserve. We had to rename our DM2 old. We had to rename our WFE engine to old. Okay, so that's done, right? So now we need to, so let's just make sure our Commserve is off. That's totally off, good. Our database has been renamed, good. Now we need to go to a tool in the base folder. Let's go to C drive, go to Program Files, Commvault Content Store, Base, and it's called CSR. That's the Commserve Recovery Assistant. Double click on it or right click on it. Again, next, choose our location of our files, temp folder, TMP 62, I believe it was. Okay, alright, next. Okay, let's put the database. Okay, looks good. Next. Alright, let's start recovery.
So what we've done is I've actually had to change a couple of things, and I turned on the SQL, well, the Oracle agent, the Commvault agent, and then I changed the names back to the regular from the old. And then on here, on our, okay, let me show you the actual Commvault documentation where it says to change the actual name of the databases. So we've actually changed it back. So just to let you know on that one. So yeah, we're okay. So we're done basically. Push next, and looks like we're done. So we're going to click next again. Look like we installed it. Okay. So click finish, and then restart the Commserve. Okay, and then we're in. Voila, awesome. Thanks for viewing this tutorial.